Please be aware that the comments, views, opinions shared on this podcast are not meant to diagnose a medical problem and/or legal problem. If you do have a medical problem or legal problem, kindly contact a professional.
Welcome to An Apple a Day, a podcast, a resource, a community. Share your experiences and learn from others as we overcome barriers and learn to live a happy, healthy life with a disability. Welcome to the community. Here's your host, Jimmy Apple.
Welcome to another episode of An Apple a Day. I'm your host, Jimmy Apple. An Apple a Day is brought to you by www.famousapple.com. Famousapple.com is the website for this podcast. And there you're going to find access to our social media pages. You're going to find articles about the topics we discuss here on the podcast. You're going to find access to our private message boards and our private chat rooms. You're going to find a whole lot of things going on over there. And the best part about it is it's all free. It's all free. So you get a minute, go over there and check out www.famousapple.com. Join in the conversations. So how you feeling this week, my friends? You feeling good? Feeling strong? Feeling better than you did last week? Excellent. Excellent. You still keeping up with your medication, your physical therapy, your exercises at home? That's the way to do it. We got a pretty good one for you this week. This week we're going to be talking about things that affect you. One of the things, especially if you're just going out on workers' comp, the FMLA, the Family Medical Leave Act. And also, I've been asked questions before. Can you be fired going out on workers' comp? Can you be fired while you're out on workers' comp? Can you be let go? Can you be laid off? You know, people have this thought in their head, this fantasy that if you're on workers' comp, your boss cannot fire you and they cannot lay you off. No matter what, the boss has to keep you on. You're wrong, and we're going to be discussing that. Also, people think that because you're on disability, your boss can't fire you or your boss can't lay you off. Again, you're wrong. We're going to be discussing that. Another thing we're going to be discussing today is someone had the bright idea, and this is someone that I know personally. He took a job, a service job, and he was bragging how he's making $35 an hour, but he's only getting paid minimum wage on the books. So this way the rest of his money is tax-free. And it's good, he's making this much money. Okay. Now, I had said to him a while ago, I said, God forbid, and this is after I got hurt, I said, God forbid you get hurt and you have to go on workers' comp. You are going to be so screwed, okay? Because workers' comp is going to be figured out at what you're making on the books. I'm not worried about it. I'm making enough money. I said, well, how much of that money are you putting away? Are you putting money away? Have you made a big bank account, a big nest egg? Well, I'll put it away as I need it. I'll put it away as I can. But, I'm getting ahead on everything, and I'm living pretty good. Yeah, he's living pretty good. He went out and bought a new car. He went out and bought a motorcycle. Yeah, and $35 an hour isn't a whole lot of money anymore. At one time, it used to be. But $35 an hour? Yeah, that's kind of like an average pay anymore. Especially the way rents go and stuff like that. So I told him, I said, you gotta budget your money because, God forbid, if an emergency comes, boy, you're screwed. And I said, what's going to happen if for some reason this guy's office gets raided and they see that you've been getting all this money off the books? You're going to have to pay back taxes on it. And he's like, no. My boss says he's paying the taxes. Yeah, your boss is paying taxes for himself. But now he's giving you money. You still have to pay taxes on that money. And he's arguing with me. No, I don't, because I already paid it once. I said, well, what country do you live in? It's like, here, you get paid. Think about this for a second. Think about how many times a dollar gets taxed. You get paid. Now, you on your way home from work on payday, you stop at the store and you pick up a bottle of soda. And just say that bottle of soda is 75 cents. You buy it, you give them $1. There's 75 cents plus tax. So there you're paying tax again with that dollar. taxes. That dollar doesn't get taxed once. That dollar gets taxed 10 times. 10 times. So I was trying to explain to him that no matter what, you're still going to get hit with back taxes. And thick-headed enough, he's saying, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm not going to get hit with back taxes. My boss paid the taxes on the money for me. Oh, okay. I said, and what happens? God forbid you get hurt. My boss will take care of me. Well, lo and behold, 3 weeks ago, this same person got hurt. And now he's screwed because he's going to get workers' comp, but workers' comp is going to pay him based on his minimum wage salary. His paycheck is minimum wage. So he's going to receive 2/3. That's right, 2/3. That's all you receive on workers' comp. You receive 2/3 of your weekly salary. So I said to him, I said, is your boss going to make up the difference? He says, he should, he should. Well, he should, but is he? Well, as he found out, no, his boss isn't. This paying off the books, this is good when you were a kid, and you were, I don't know, working in a pizzeria or something. But even then it was illegal. It doesn't pay. It doesn't pay to futz around for the couple of bucks because no matter what, if you're making that little bit of money and you're paying taxes, you're going to get it back. So it's better to pay it and be legal and not have to worry about it in the long run. Now here's this poor sap. He's out on disability. His wife, who never worked because she stayed home with his 2 daughters, now she has to go out and find a job because they can't live on. He's getting something like $75 every 2 weeks. What are you supposed to pay with that? That doesn't even pay for food. But he wanted to work off the books, and now he's screwed. He screwed himself, and I'm sure he's going to have even more problems with the IRS after this. So, and not to mention, now he doesn't have the money coming in. Now he's got car payment that has to be made. He's got a motorcycle payment that has to be made. He's got rent that's got to be paid, electric bill, phone bill, cable bill, all on $75 every 2 weeks. And all because he wanted to work off the books. Not to mention feeding his 2 kids, himself and his wife. This off the books payment and all this other nonsense like that, that's very short-sighted, very short-sighted. And what happens, just say, if he was lucky, nothing happened to him. And he worked like that, like off the books and on the books, all the way up to the time it came for retirement. Now, when Social Security goes back and they look for your the money that you paid into Social Security, you work for minimum wage your entire life according to your records. What do you think your Social Security check is going to be when you retire? Minimum. What are you going to take in, $500 a month? Maybe $600 a month? Now, you're doing yourself a great disservice working for somebody like this. And, they're also the type of company that they'll tell you on payday, like payday's Friday. They'll give you a check, but they'll tell you, hold on to the check, don't cash it till Tuesday. These are fly-by-night companies, You're also screwing the next guy coming in who doesn't want to get paid half on the books, half off the books. The only one that gets help with this finagling with the payroll like this is your boss. You're not getting helped, whether you believe it or not. Because if he was paying you on the books, he'd have to pay you more money. That's right. He'd have to pay you more money. Right now, he's telling you, well, look, I'm paying you off the books. That's the equivalent to paying you $50 an hour. So if you were on the books, he'd have to pay you $50 an hour. Now, that finagling and all that other stuff, the only one that hurts is you and your family. The only one that benefits is your boss. I wouldn't work for a guy like that. I wouldn't work for someone that tells me don't cash my check until Tuesday. And even then, that's questionable if you can cash it on Tuesday. Keep in mind that getting paid under the table is illegal. Now, do you like this guy or this girl that much that you're willing to break the law? There is nothing, nowhere, no employer can make their employee do anything that's illegal. Keep that in mind, all right? That's against the law to get paid off the books. And they're jeopardizing your health. They're jeopardizing your health care. And they can tell you, well, with taking minimum wage, you can get food stamps, you can get help from welfare. Do you realize how illegal all of that is? You're hiding money. You're hiding money. And I've heard this. I've heard this from people that are telling me their bosses have told them this, that you can get food stamps. So they're getting food stamps, working on the books for minimum wage and still collecting higher wages off the books. That is all illegal. And when you get caught, you could be going to jail. Never mind paying back the money that you've ripped off, because that's what you've done. You've actually stolen from the government. You've stolen from the taxpayers. You've stolen from your neighbors and family. You're going to go to jail. And do you think anyone's going to feel bad for you? No, because you know it's wrong. And don't say for 1 second that, well, my boss told me, so I thought it was okay. You're not a stupid person either. So don't play that game. And don't play the game like, oh, I can get Medicaid. You can't get Medicaid because you're making too much money. Well, yeah, my boss told him just show him the pay stub. Yeah, but you're lying. You're committing perjury. No boss, no employer can have their employee do something illegal. And you can't claim that my boss told me to do it. Ignorance of the law isn't a defense. Remember that. So please, don't fall into this game. You know, it may sound good, but like they say about things, if it sounds too good, it probably is. Yeah, it's like getting paid $50 an hour. It's not. It's like setting yourself up to go to jail by getting paid off the books. It's like setting yourself up to owing the government a lot of money and a lot of interest and a lot of penalties. It's like setting yourself up to screw your own kids, your own family. God forbid you get hurt. You're screwing yourself to help your boss. Let your boss help himself. You're doing an honest day's work, get an honest day's pay. And if he can't pay you an honest day's pay, go find a job elsewhere where they can. All right, let's move on. Take on another subject here, okay? Now here's something you might not have known. There's certain people that, you know, they're out there working their 8-hour day and they're just not making enough money to make ends meet. So they take on a second job. And their second job, maybe during the day, they're a salesperson in a department store. And then at night, they're a bartender, okay? Both of them are legitimate jobs. Both of them are on the books. And during the day now, they get hurt on the job. They throw their back out, stocking shelves, and they have to go and workers' comp. Now, naturally, they can't go to their second job. Did you know that there are provisions that you can collect workers' comp for the second job? That's right. In certain cases, most cases, as long as you're working on the books, there's a provision there for that. And when it comes to something like that, when you have two legitimate jobs, you speak to a workers' comp attorney and let them know this, and they can work it out that you're not going to collect the full amount of what both jobs were paying you naturally. You're going to get 2/3 of the total amount, but at least you're getting more than just 2/3 of the first job. You know what I mean? You're a hard worker, and there's no reason that your hard work should just be thrown out the window altogether. You shouldn't lose the benefit that you had from working that second job. So if you talk to your workers' comp attorney, he can walk you through it. He can help you out. It's worth the shot. But it's there for you, you know? So that's something that I didn't know. I'll be honest with you. I found that while I was doing some research here. But they do. There's a provision there for you that if you're working a second job and you get hurt on your first or you get hurt on your second, there's a provision that you can collect the workers' comp for the other job as well, because you're not going to be able to work them. That's pretty cool, I thought. That's something to look into. It's something to make sure you take note and you ask your workers' comp attorney. God forbid that happens to you. Okay, well, we still got a bit more to go here, so it's been pretty intense this first half, so let's take a bit of a break here. Take a breath. And we'll be back in 30 seconds. A shake of a lamb's tail. Don't go away. I'll see you on the other side. An Apple a Day is brought to you by www.famousapple.com. FamousApple.com is the home site for this podcast. There you're going to find articles about the topics we discussed. You're going to find our connections to our Facebook page. And you're even going to find connections to our private chat board. So take a minute. Go over, visit www.famousapple.com, but please wait till the end of this podcast. Don't run out on me now. Let's get back to the discussion. Now that wasn't bad, huh? 30 seconds, the lamb shook his tail. Well, we're back. I want to talk to you about this fallacy, this fantasy about you're on workers' comp and your boss can't fire you. Wrong. Your boss can fire you. There are thousands of reasons an employer can use to fire you while you're on workers' comp, especially if you're an at-will employee. An employer cannot fire you because you applied for workers' comp or you're on workers' comp. That's called retaliatory termination, and that's against the law. But they can come up with other things, such as they need to fill your position. They can't hold your position open any longer. They have to keep the show going. They have to keep the company running. Or you weren't a good employee to begin with. They were going to fire you anyway. You know, they might say that you came in late every day, or you took extended lunches, or you left early every day, or you took excessive days off. Now, here's the one thing. As far as the FMLA goes, FMLA is an unpaid time off for an employee. That's the Family Medical Leave Act. And what that is that's time that in 1996 the Congress voted that in, and each employee is entitled to 12 weeks off without pay to take care of a medical problem, or for example, a new baby is born, or a child is adopted. It gives the parent time to bond with that child. You know, the father can take the FMLA to bond with the baby. The mother can take it as time off with the baby after the birth. There's a myriad of reasons why you can take it. You can take the FMLA to take care of a sick relative. You can take the FMLA to take care of a sick child. You can take FMLA to take care of yourself. Now, here's the thing. Most companies will require you, if you go out on workers' comp, they'll require you to use your allotted time of FMLA while you're out. Whether you're out on disability or you're out on workers' comp, they'll require you to use that amount of time. Now, here's the catch. If you exceed the 12 weeks out, you can be fired. So there's a catch with that. There's a catch with everything. So yes, you can be fired while you're out on workers' comp. There's no magic. There's no good fairy looking over you saying, nope, you can't be fired. You can stay out sick as long as you want. That doesn't happen. And rightfully so. I mean, think about it. The company still does have to operate. So as long as you're getting paid through workers' comp or through disability. So unfortunately, that's the fact. The same thing with disability. Your long-term disability, Social Security disability. They don't hold your job. You're out more than 12 weeks right there. Your job basically is gone. It's unfortunate, but that's the fact. So that's just something to keep in the back of your mind. And I hate being the bearer of bad news, but that's just something. I know I grew up and people always said, well, they can't fire you. Your boss can't fire you if you're out on workers' comp. Yeah, they can. Yes, they can. They can't fire you because you got hurt on the job. Can't do that. They can't fire you for filing for workers' comp. They can't do that. But they can come up with any other reason. So that's something to keep in the back of your mind. So I hope this helped to dispel a few myths. Yes, you can get fired while you're on workers' compensation, but you can't get fired for filing for workers' compensation, and you can't get fired specifically for being on workers' compensation. And you can get fired while you're on disability. But don't forget, you have the 12 weeks of FMLA, Family Medical Leave Act. All right, moving on here. My friends, I got something to share with you. We have people listening all over the world. We're now in 24 different countries. They are the U.S., naturally, Hungary, Japan, United Kingdom, Saudi Arabia, Canada, Australia, Ireland, India, Thailand, Egypt, Mexico, Belgium, Pakistan, Germany, Kuwait, Bangladesh, Vietnam, Israel, Finland, the Netherlands, France, Chile, and the Islamic Republic of Iran. I want to welcome everybody to An Apple a Day. I am so happy that all you guys are joining in. Our community is growing bigger and bigger, and our reach is going further and further. Thank you all for stopping by here. I really appreciate it. And I just can't tell you how happy I am. Our numbers are going through the roof, and people said that this would never last. Let me tell you this also. We just did our 50th podcast. We have 50 done already. So things are going great here, guys. Thank you very much. It's all because of you. All because of you. I'd like to thank you all for stopping by this week. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you letting me talk to you. You know, don't let your disability get you down. Sometimes it's hard to hold on to your dreams, but you have to hold on to them. You know, you get 3 choices in life. You can give up, give in, or give it all you got. My friends, give it all you got. Go for it. Don't let life knock you down. You got a little bit of a disability, doesn't mean you're dead. You're still alive, you're still breathing, you're still on this side of the grass. Remember, things can always be worse. There's people right now striving to have what you already have. Remember that, okay? Listen, my friends, have a great week. Have a great weekend. I'll talk to you the early part of next week. And take care of yourself. This is Jimmy Apple. I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for listening to An Apple a Day with Jimmy Apple, your gateway to a happy, healthy life. Join our community at www.famousapple.com. See you next time.